What's up EFD? Today we're counting down 5 young stars at big clubs who should be considering their futures. 5. Joshua Zirkzee. One of the most highly rated forwards to emerge from the Bayern Munich academy in recent years, Joshua Zirkzee looks set to become a star at the Allianz Arena, scoring a hat-trick on his debut for the club's under-23 side when he was just 17, and scoring a last-minute winner on his Bundesliga debut 9 months later. But with Robert Lewandowski untouchable in the centre-forward slot and almost never injured, Zirkzee has never had a real shot at getting consistent game time in Bavaria. Despite scoring 4 goals in just 295 Bundesliga minutes in 2019-20, he was granted just 1 start the following campaign before being sent on loan to Parma, where a ligament injury limited him to just 4 substitute appearances. But even after a far more successful loan in Belgium with Anderlecht, where he registered 16 goals and 9 assists in 38 Pro League appearances last term, a rate of a goal contribution every 100 minutes, his future at Bayern is far from certain. Of course, Lewandowski looks likely to leave the German champions this summer, and with no obvious understudy to him, Zirkzee would potentially have a free run at the position depending on how manager Julian Nagelsmann wants to use new signing Sadio Mane. But given Nagelsmann hasn't worked with Zirkzee much yet, it feels unlikely he will suddenly become a starter, and the player has expressed his desire to play regularly, saying back in March that he saw little point in returning to Bayern if he wasn't going to start. He also has just a year left on his contract, and so if he is to be sold permanently, it will have to happen this summer. Bayern sporting director Hasan Salihamidzic is keen for him to stay at the club for pre-season at least and give Nagelsmann the opportunity to make him a key part of the first team, so any transfer may not come until later in the window. But Zirkzee is not short of suitors, and one which may appeal to him is Ajax, who would offer the Dutch striker a return to the Netherlands. With 34 goals Sebastian Haller now at Borussia Dortmund, the Eredivisie champions need to strengthen up front, and having let both Ryan Gravenberch and Mazraoui join the German giants already this summer could certainly do with a favour in the other direction. With the Amsterdam club also hoping to make Brian Bromby's loan permanent, Zirkzee wouldn't be without competition if he were to join. But the prospect of leading the line in the post-Ten Hag era and gaining serious Champions League experience along the way would be hard to turn down. 4. Amad Diallo. Amad Diallo may only be about to turn 20, but given Man United's continued problems on the right-hand side of the attack, it's telling that he hasn't been given more chances to impress at Old Trafford. He made just 2 Premier League starts in 12 months following his move from Atalanta in January 2021, failing to earn the trust of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer or Ralf Rangnick, with the latter reportedly critical of the club's decision to sign him in the first place. And while he got more game time on loan at Rangers, scoring 3 goals in 8 Scottish Premiership appearances, he was only granted 3 starts and was hooked at half-time in the Old Firm derby, failing to nail down a consistent spot in Gio van Bronckhorst's side. And with Anthony Elanga now firmly ahead of him in the United pecking order, it doesn't look like Amad will get a chance to impress new boss Erik ten Hag, with recent reports suggesting the youngster will be sent on loan again ahead of the new season and the prospect of another attacker joining the Red Devils in the off-season. The problem for Amad is that even for someone as young as him, he really hasn't had much top-level experience at all, making just 5 appearances in Italy before he was snapped up by United. And so while he is a promising attacker, it's hard to know what kind of level he's suited to. A move to France or the Netherlands, where young players tend to get more opportunities, may be his best bet. After all, he was on the verge of a move to Feyenoord last summer before an injury scuppered the deal. As a result, the Dutch club picked up Reiss Nelson from Arsenal instead, and following a slow start, the English winger really hit his stride in the final months of the season, starring in their impressive run to the Europa Conference League final. With Nelson now back at Arsenal, the Dutch outfit need cover on the right once again. Now may be the time to reassert their interest in the Ivorian international. 3. Levi Colwill. Depending on how Chelsea's transfer window goes, Levi Colwill could end up getting minutes at Stamford Bridge next season. A left-footed centre-back who could also fit in at left-back, the 19-year-old impressed on loan at Huddersfield in the Championship last term. What's more, he made most of his appearances on the left of a back 3, meaning he could be the long-term solution to the gap left by Antonio Rudiger at Stamford Bridge. But with the Blues currently determined to land Man City's Nathan Ake, who like Colwill was once an academy prospect in West London, it seems like opportunities will be limited next term. And while the teenager's prime aim is to become a success at Chelsea, he has also made clear that he is happy to continue his development away from the club if first-team football isn't made available to him. And whether he's at Stamford Bridge or somewhere else next season, the signs are incredibly promising. Colwill wins a whopping 90% of the 2 tackles he attempts each game, and was strong in the air too, winning 3.1 aerial duels per 90 with a 62% success rate. And if he does decide to go elsewhere, he shouldn't have to take a step down to the Championship again. Former Chelsea boss Frank Lampard is reportedly keen to bring him to Everton, with Southampton and Leicester, who sorely need new bodies at the back next term, also said to be interested. If he wants to get another 2,000 minutes under his belt, then Colwill should seriously consider another season on loan. 2. Rayan Cherki. Heralded as the future of French football when he burst onto the scene with Lyon in 2020, becoming the youngest ever player to feature in a Champions League semi-final with a dazzling cameo against eventual winners Bayern Munich just 2 days after his 17th birthday, Rayan Cherki has already experienced the first setback of his career. That may seem a bit dramatic given he's only 18 and racked up over 700 minutes across Ligue 1 and the Europa League last term, but manager Peter Bosch's reluctance to give him significant game time has become a source of anxiety among some supporters. And with Bosch retaining the support of chairman Jean-Michel Aulas, who is understood to still be making key decisions under new owner John Textor, Cherki could be in for similar treatment next term. This hasn't quelled the teenager's desire to succeed at his boyhood club though. As this is written, talks are underway over a new contract, a vital development for the club given they would otherwise be in danger of losing him for free in 2023. But Cherki is a particularly precocious talent, someone who looked almost as physically developed as a player in their mid-20s when he was just 16, and letting such a talent flourish away from Lyon rather than be sat on the bench could be a good idea for both player and club. With rumours that Bosch was less than enamoured with Cherki's work rate and defensive output last term, it may be a simple case of a bad match. Unless Lyon plan to replace the Dutch coach, Cherki may be better off spending a year away. 1. Arnaud Kalimuendo. In any video about wonder kids who need to leave their club, or young players who were sold too soon, it's relatively safe to bet that a graduate of the PSG Academy will feature at some stage. The French giants produce some of Europe's top talent, and yet, just like Chelsea a few years ago, have a damning track record when it comes to actually giving these players a chance to impress at the Parc des Princes, from Mike Maignan to Christopher Nkunku, Moussa Diaby to Kingsley Coman. And young striker Arnaud Kalimuendo may be the latest to join that list, following an impressive 2-year loan spell at Ligue 1 underdogs Lens. First linking up with the Blood and Gold when they were newly promoted in 2020, Kalimuendo impressed in Ligue 1 at just 18 years of age, registering 7 goals and 3 assists in just over 1,200 minutes. He then became a more integral part of Franck Hesse's side in 21-22, hitting 12 in the league and sustaining a better goals to minute ratio than Lille's €50 million rated Jonathan David. But as we know, that output far from guarantees a fair chance at the Parc des Princes, where Messi, Neymar and Mbappe remain in place. And while the arrivals of Luis Campos and Christophe Galtier have raised hopes of a more cost-effective, youth-orientated future for PSG, the club are seemingly willing to sell Kalimuendo this summer and view Sassuolo's Gianluca Scamacca as their future number 9, with a fee of around €20 million thought to be enough to prize the youngster away from Paris. The France under-21 international has attracted the interest of Nottingham Forest, Leeds and even Inter Milan, so we expect him to find a permanent home soon. So those were our 5 wonder kids who need new homes, but let me know what you thought in the comments below, and if we missed out anyone else, get their names down there as well, and maybe we'll do a part 2 based on your suggestions. If you want to watch more content like this, then click on screen right now, and as always guys, don't forget to like and subscribe.